Welcome to Pop Culture Renegades. This is After Dark. This was an impromptu After Dark. And I know what you're wondering right now. Who's who, right? You already know who I am, because if you don't, I don't know why you're even tuning in. But I'm Joe with that hashtag show. To the far left and right of me, we call him the Chocolate Thunder. We got Daniel Jerome.
Well, Chocolate Thunder and Mocha Mountain.
And Johnny Parker, too. JP, too.
I just realized, did they put the black people as bookends on purpose?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, and in between is Joe, our racially ambiguous friend.
There
it is. So
color balance.
You guys are security guards.
And we're both wearing black. We're low-key Falcons.
Oh,
right
my
now.
And then I also got to introduce our friends. You've heard them. I'm not even logged into this. You've heard them a lot on our shows, chiming in and doing other things. Rangers Live Chat. You guys aren't Rangers Live Chat. You guys are the Flash Podcast. But also, not just the Flash Podcast. Andy, what other shows do you do?
I do Tina's podcast. I do. That's the one I co-host, and I produce the rest of the one on the DC Podcast Network.
DC Podcast Network. And I always tell you guys, when you want to talk about the best DC podcast in the world, you got to tune into
stop.
Andy. That's a true story, man.
It's true. It's true now because I'm on it.
That's true. And let me just introduce. Why don't you introduce yourself? Mainly because you've done such a great job of stealing.
Stealing the spotlight right there.
I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. I hyped you up, but see.
Yeah.
I'm Tatiana, and I sometimes am on the Flash Podcast with Andy, who is a great and wonderful leader, taking us through all the different DC shows. And I also do a different podcast called Ladies with Gumption, where we talk about all the DC ladies and how much gumption they do or do not possess.
Wait, whoa.
Yes.
What do you mean DC ladies?
Like DC Comics.
Like Maxima?
Ladies in them.
Like that character Maxima? You remember Maxima? Nobody remembers Maxima?
We have not talked about Maxima.
Yeah. Is that a deep cut or what?
The women who are on the DC show.
Yes.
Okay.
DC TV.
Like Candace
ladies.
Patton.
Obviously.
Yes. Iris West.
I thought you meant the characters.
Anytime we can talk about Iris West.
Yeah, I mean, they might do it one day. Who knows?
Maxima.
They do.
You know what?
They talk about
I'm
Iris
gonna pitch
West
that
as
one.
well.
Wait a minute. I thought they brought Maxima to one of the shows. Am I
Yeah, on Supergirl. There was one up in the season 1.
So I knew that they brought her on a show.
But it was a throwaway character.
Well, but Supergirl villains, you know, we talk a lot how about Supergirl villains kind of suck unless they're Rain. So.
Oh God, yeah.
I'm sorry, you thought Rain was a good villain?
Yeah. Oh. You didn't think Rain was a good villain?
She was trash. I'm sorry. Your name is.
We're gonna share this. Give this to you.
I'm sorry. Your name is World Killer, and you didn't actually kill Supergirl.
Why would you want her to kill Supergirl? No, the point is Sam and Rain, like they had a really interesting
problems at home, y'all.
arc there. You know, like you got to care. I don't know if you guys watched Supergirl season 3. Did anyone else watch Supergirl season 3? Okay, so you got to care about Sam as a character.
Yeah, beginning.
I never got to it. I don't watch CBS.
Oh no, I'm
I had to watch it.
My TV doesn't get that channel.
It was bad. I hate that season.
It was like CBS. Oh no, can't get it. Sorry.
It was really bad.
I love Brainiac 5 and Lena Luthor, but Kara was a horrible superhero.
Dang.
Okay, she was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have any tea, but
No, I
I'm
think
sipping it.
Supergirl. The problem with Supergirl is that it doesn't love Kara. Like that is true.
Oh, point.
Supergirl wants to be a show about Lena Luthor or a show about Alex Danvers. It doesn't want to be a show about Kara.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know if that's because Melissa like has better things to do with her life, which I mean she's on Broadway right now, so clearly she does. But
Why are you looking at me?
Because I'm not the one debating this.
Exactly. This is on you. You're the one saying it.
It is my fault that she's talking smack about Melissa Benoist. I love Melissa Benoist.
I'm not saying anything bad about her. I'm saying like good for her if she's got better things to do, you know. But it does leave.
Wait, time out. Is this the kind of banter we get on your guys' podcast?
Sometimes.
Well, we don't talk about Supergirl. So.
I mean, if we talk about Supergirl, it's mostly me just shading Supergirl because I'm like, well, you know, at least, you know.
How dare you, Andy?
Well,
right?
Because people keep. I can curse on the show, right?
No. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
It's after hours.
Yes, after
dark.
dark.
Right.
Yeah.
Because people keep bitching about like who's faster or.
YouTube just cut off our monetization.
Because people keep,
no.
Because people keep bitching about who's faster, Barry or Kara. I'm like, well, at least Barry can be beaten by some stupid green rock.
Okay, so here's the deal.
Wait, but never.
Well, before we get into this,
You think Kara is faster?
Then Barry? No, but I think Barry but Barry uses his powers in very idiotic ways. Like honestly, Flash. Exactly, and most of the problems can be solved is like, oh wait, there's a thief. Slap. Okay, I'm back. Like done.
Hold on.
I love that the tornado arms.
A stupid way to use your power is to go back in time and stop your mom's death.
No, a stupid.
No,
way to use
not
your
talking
power-
about that.
Hold on, whoa. A stupid way to use your power is when you kiss somebody and they forget.
Yes, I kiss and then he got like taken over. His brain got taken over.
Superman kissed Lois, and then she forgot like he was.
Why did that happen?
I don't know.
No one knows why that
He
happened.
also flew around the planet and turned the planet back in time as well. That was something else he also did.
That's a pretty creepy power, and that's definitely not.
His
not a good one.
I
That's
know
not
the
a good
secret
one.
is
We don't
why
want
he
that.
do that.
No.
His lips are filled with alcohol so much that that you get drunk by it and you forget.
Oh.
If Henry Cavill did it, then it makes sense because he's.
Wait, is that why he?
Whoa!
Wait, is that why he grew that mustache
Wow.
to protect people?
Okay,
Is that like a shield? Like,
no.
No, that's not even talking about that mustache.
Exactly.
Name me
So if
5
your
people
lips
that-
touch his mustache instead, you'll still remember what
Name me
happened.
5 people.
But you'll feel
Name
kind
me
of
5
grossed
people
out.
There, yeah,
currently
will.
right
It's like,
now
it
that
itches.
can rock a mustache besides Henry Cavill.
The Rock.
Tom Selleck.
The Rock cannot rock a mustache.
Tom Selleck.
He can rock a mustache.
Tom Selleck, I'll give you.
He is the stash.
So who else can rock a mustache?
Hasselhoff.
Tell me. Hasselhoff can't rock a mustache.
The Rock can rock a mustache.
Rock cannot.
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey
Trejo.
Jr. goatee, not a mustache.
Really? I think he knew the mustache.
Sam Elliott.
He's now on the farm.
Sam Elliott, yes. I'll
Oh,
give you Sam
good
Elliott.
one.
I'll give you Sam Elliott.
Okay.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Nick Offerman.
Samuel.
What are you talking about?
Get outta here with
In
that.
Pulp Fiction,
Joe,
that thick,
Nick
luscious
Offerman
afro
from Parks and
mustache was
Rec.
amazing.
I'll take Nick
I
Offerman.
agree with you.
I'll take
Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman, of course.
Oh, yeah, of
He's
course.
nothing without the
Ron
mustache.
Swanson's a man's
Yeah.
man, and then some.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, now you motherfucker can't go with him. Let's be honest. Captain fucking Crunch? How you guys gonna miss Captain Crunch?
Captain Crunch.
Well, we're going that way, then we got the
Captain
general.
Crunch for a real person.
Oh, yeah.
Save online.
Get like your free insurance. That's all I want.
All right, General Ross then.
All right, fine. Colonel Sanders. You can rock a pretty mean mustache.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
all
yeah,
right, all
yeah.
right. But these are all animated.
I find the
people.
last two, but it's really hard to find somebody that rocks a really
Yeah.
good mustache nowadays.
It's
oh,
true.
Donald Glover, Lando Calrissian.
Oh!
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Shoot.
Kurt Russell. That's
Oh,
our
I
five.
think-
Donald Glover and Kurt Russell.
And then, in
Fine.
that case, though, Billy D. Williams.
Oh,
He always got
yeah.
that
Also,
mustache.
that's
He
true.
always
The
rocked that
OG
mustache.
Lando. Yeah.
That's smooth like
Got
Colt
six-
45 right
six
there. That's
solid.
so smooth.
But I don't think anybody rocks it as. I think personally.
Jordan had the Hitler stash.
I
No,
think
we're
that
not.
right now.
Okay,
Henry
nope.
Cavill rocks
Nope.
it the best.
Forgot
I'm
about
glad
it.
it's gone.
Nope.
I wish they had
No.
let him rock it in Justice League.
Nope.
But
Okay. Nope. No Hitler mustache.
I'm just glad
he
it's
could have
gone.
grown hair while he was dead.
Yeah, they could have given him a whole. No, they could have given him.
I think the better
The
question
thing is, because he wasn't dead.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I think
What
he
did the
wasn't
Billions
dead
do?
though. That's
Hold
the
on, whoa,
thing.
whoa. I think the better question is why didn't he rock just a beard?
Full beard.
Yeah, the whole thing. The
You
whole
guys like
thing.
to see it?
I would
Yeah,
give you-
instead
I would
of
give
just
you
In the
ripping it
comic-
off, they should have given him
In the
everything.
comic, he had a
Hashtag
beard
release
and a
Snyder
mullet.
cut.
Oh God.
That means Jeff Snyder getting fired?
Ah.
Oh.
I'm not afraid of that fuckhead. But
Wow.
let me
You know
say-
that they spelled
I
their
don't
last
know
names
this
differently,
person.
right?
Yeah, so do I. I spell it in my tweets. The Snyder
DC,
cut
don't
differently.
ban me.
I just
DC,
wanted to
don't
make sure
ban
that
me.
you knew.
Listen, there's
Joe.
3 Snyder cuts that exist. Jeff Snyder getting fired from everywhere.
Oh, God.
The second Snyder is Zack Snyder's movie that's supposed to be the Snyder cut. And the third one is the Snyder cut, which is the Justice League DC comic that's currently out right now.
Oh my God.
Scott Snyder.
Scott Snyder. Yes.
Oh.
The talented Snyder.
Yeah.
The
Right.
talented
Wow.
Snyder.
Snyder, I like.
Well
That
done.
one
Well
I like. I like
done.
Zack Snyder.
I'll throw something at you. Don't
That's
do
a
it.
meme. Me doing this. Turn that into a meme, somebody.
Are you doing the Captain Morgan right there? What?
No.
All right, so
Give me nightmares.
All right,
Scary.
so I do want to ask you guys a question. So you guys just debated about
SG.
Supergirl, yeah. Going into San Diego Comic-Con, because that's where we're all going in a couple days now.
Yep.
Oh God, I can't believe it's that soon.
So scary.
We're going to
All
San
right.
Diego Comic-Con in a couple days.
It's like a tear running
Since
down
you
your
guys
face.
do all these CW shows, all these CW superhero shows mainly,
Yes.
what panel are you guys looking forward to the most?
Of the CW superhero shows?
No, the
Or just
CW
any-
superhero shows, I would say.
Okay. So, all right, we're doing that. Obviously,
Oh, we're doing
Flash
that.
is my baby. And I want to see them with Jessica Parker Kennedy, who I'm so excited about
Okay.
being Nora. So yeah.
Jonathan.
Okay, out of the CW shows?
Superhero shows.
Okay.
He's gonna say Black Lightning. I can see
Oh,
it.
Racist.
Well, you're gonna just say it.
No.
No.
Black Lightning.
Yeah.
But the reason why is because
Smack
like
you.
we were talking about this earlier. Black Lightning has such cultural significance. Like that first episode we were talking about earlier.
I think it did. I think
it did a lot of great things.
I think the only downside of Black Lightning though is I felt like towards the end of the season it started going way more towards the CW show than actually being the show that it was meant to be. Because the first like 5 episodes are super solid.
Yeah. And for the other shows, like I like The Flash, but we were having a discussion earlier. I feel it gets kind of redundant with some of the seasons where they've done things. With Arrow, I'm like every time I try to watch that show, I'm like, bruh, you're not Batman. Bruh, you're not Batman. Star City is not Gotham. You need to calm this down.
You feel the city.
You need to calm this down.
What are you gonna do when they bring on Batwoman though?
And see, at that point, she'll be like, I come from a real city with real problems. This is a vacation. And then, like, for Legends of Tomorrow, that's actually the second, like, closest thing I would want to see. Because we talked about this before. It's a straight up, like, comedy show, and it's a great ride.
Well, it's
like
Guardians
Marvel.
for DC.
Go ahead.
Pretty much.
It's Guardians for DC.
Exactly. And it's just a fun show, so I would like to see that one. It's a close second. But, like, Black Lightning, it's the freshest. It's the most different. I want to support it. I want to check it out. See what they got to say.
Andy, you're the DC expert, per se. What is your show that you're most looking forward to in Hall H?
Riverdale.
Nope, not DC.
You said Hall H.
Hey, whatever the fuck.
Riverdale? Okay, Andy, I just want to know why you love Riverdale.
It is possibly one of the best shows on
It
television.
is one of the best shows.
Wait, to give you context,
It's one of- yeah.
it's on the hashtag show called Gingerdale, where they review each episode.
Oh my God,
So
yes.
he is
And
on
we
that
break
show
it down.
with his
It is such
partner
a
in crime,
good
Sarah.
show.
Season 2 just like had
What?
a mental breakdown.
But it's a beautiful mental
mental-
breakdown.
Oh my
It's one of the
God.
train wrecks you like
Yeah,
to see.
like the
Yes.
one episode that I really liked
Okay.
in season 2, second half, was the Carrie musical episode. And that was because
But
then I
then-
went and
wait,
listened to
But
the
then,
Carrie.
and
Wait,
then,
I will-
yeah,
I
dude,
will-
that was
wait,
amazing.
I will-
Rose here, and he's like, that was good.
Good.
This is our Star
But
Wars.
no, it's true.
guys.
No,
Wait, Daniel,
but the murder
Daniel,
at the end, the
Daniel.
murder at the end was, oh my God, so good.
Yes,
What carried
right.
after, the rest of that season was genius.
Wait,
It was
time out,
constructed
hold on,
beautifully.
Time out. I don't disagree with you on Riverdale.
I'm kind of on Daniel's side.
Let's get back to the superhero stuff.
Okay.
I want to know which panel you're most excited about out of the DC superheroes. And go. I'm
Flat.
talking to you,
Oh,
Andy.
okay.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well,
Flash, Daniel. You're
Yes.
not even gonna get it. I'm not gonna even ask you that question. That's a dumb answer.
What?
Black Lightning.
There you. All right. Cool.
Andy,
Why
Andy,
though?
Because I
Andy,
feel.
Andy, that's why we boys.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel Black Lightning was the best DC show this season.
You mean
on this-
if you didn't watch Legends of Tomorrow, right?
I mean, I watched it tomorrow. I watched all.
Wait, what?
I
He's
watched Legends.
anti-Legends of Tomorrow.
No, I love Legends of Tomorrow, but here's the
wait.
thing. I don't
Did you
think.
just say the Black Lightning's better than Legends of Tomorrow?
Yes, because it actually has a message.
Why? What?
Well,
A
Legends of Tomorrow has
message.
like the
It
message
actually
of,
has
like,
cultural impact. It
we're all
actually
gonna
has.
find
Listen,
No,
just
here's
because
the
something has
here's the-
cultural impact doesn't make it better.
No, well, for me, it does. Here's the thing.
Oh, does it?
Here's the thing.
I can name something that has cultural impact, and we're going to tell me if it makes it better?
what is it?
Well, let me think of it.
I want to hear this
Can
too.
I
Yeah,
add?
yeah,
we're all
Culture
okay.
impact makes it pretty damn good.
Oh.
Here's what I'm gonna say. Black Lightning is refreshing because it's about an older superhero.
Second half of Luke Cage season 1. Does that make it better?
Oh, that's
We
just
can
a
have
low
both.
blow.
We
That's
can have
not
both.
fair, man. That's not fair.
Anyway, you want me to ask you a question?
Family matters.
Yeah, family does matter.
That was a
Or
good
you
show.
choose-
Urkel was a boy genius.
Daniel.
He built
It's
a
a
tower.
rare condition this
He
day and
made a
age.
corner, a teleporter.
God.
On a newspaper
He made
page.
himself sexy. That's what's really good.
He is the-
That's what really good.
He is the-
Trying to shame himself into being cool. I didn't like that.
No, I would say
He was
I
the
think
Black Reed
that
Richards.
You can't compare Black Lightning to Legends just because Legends is on its 3rd season and Black Lightning only had the 1st season. But like if you're comparing Black Lightning season 1 to Legends season 1,
Oh
Black
my
Lightning
God,
is
Black
so
Lightning
much
all
better.
the
but
way,
if you're
hands
comparing
down.
Yeah.
Legends season 3 to anything,
To anything?
fucking awesome.
To
Wait,
anything
here,
that's ever
I love
happened.
Legends tomorrow.
Did you just say anything?
Yeah, anything.
Anything
Anything.
Legends-
CW,
Oh,
DC
okay.
related.
Legends season 3
Okay.
was one of the best seasons of DC I've seen in a very long time.
No.
But
You
for
missed-
me,
hold on. You added a word. It's the best season.
I think
I think.
I think what's so great about Legends season
In my-
3 is just like it doesn't give a fuck. So
Yes, it knows what it is.
yeah, like it's just doing what it wants to do. Like if you were to actually try to, if it was any other show, it'd have to adhere to certain standards, and then it would fail those standards.
You got to get to season
man.
2.
Season
After
two,
season
dude.
Just are you talking about
Dude,
Legends right now?
skip
Just
season
skip
1.
season
Just
one.
watch the
Just
pilot.
skip it.
Watch
Go
the
to season
pilot.
Yeah.
Watch the pilot and then watch season 2.
Fucking off.
It was
No,
horrible.
watch
Yeah.
a pilot and
Someone
then go
said All
jump
Hail
right to
Evil,
season 2.
Hugo, and I totally
Oh, hell, Bebo!
Yes.
That was Josh.
Oh, nice.
Okay, just to answer your question, because here's the thing, on CW we don't have a lot of old superheroes. We don't have old characters, period, on some of these shows. So seeing Jefferson Pierce coming to life was very inspiring, and then also seeing his family.
We don't see a lot of old superheroes enter Jay Garrick.
Jay Garrick.
I mean, as a leading character.
Right, yeah.
Good point.
As a leading character, yeah, exactly.
We got another fuck yeah Bebo.
Yeah, I love Bebo. Bebo for the win.
dude.
But yeah,
Bebo was
we had
inspired.
also our first black lesbian superhero on television. So you know,
That's one of my gripes
it's a good
with
family
Black
show, and I
Lightning.
think it's,
Oh, really?
it's
Was
something
just that
refreshing that
they
haven't
introduced
done.
Grace so early on, and then she disappeared.
Tag it out. Johnny's
And then-
tagging out for Rob.
No, I'm Johnny
Oh,
Parker.
Hello.
Johnny Parker too.
Johnny Parker too. But yeah,
I
just
like
the fact
kicks.
that they introduced the concept of Thunder Grace so early.
Johnny
and
just
then
said he
dropped
lost
out.
weight. And
I
got
just
privilege.
no.
Oh,
What I
wow.
just said is I
Wow.
lost weight and I got privilege.
That's you.
That's the difference.
He said, no, what I
No,
just
no,
said
no,
was.
that's what
That's
I
her.
said.
Hey
That's
everyone,
what I
that's saying
said.
hi to me. Hey Ryan. Here's the thing. I personally think I agree with all of your choices. Black Lightning was
You
a great
should.
show, season 1. I'm not talking to you. Black Lightning.
No,
I wanna
it's
hear
my
what he
privilege
thinks.
to say that
Hey, yeah,
you
what-
should. No,
Hey,
I'm Johnny Parker too.
He's Johnny Parker
Oh,
2.0.
Well, now that you gained privilege and lost weight, what is your new?
What's your
favorite
DC
one?
show?
I don't need to
Is
tell
it-
you.
We're going with it.
I
Okay.
said Black Lightning 5. I don't know. 5, 7.
What is happening?
Is there 5 Black Lightnings?
No.
What?
How many seasons they got?
One.
Static Shock? Is that what you
Yeah, that one. That's what I was talking about.
There's Virgil.
So what's the best season of DC television to date?
Oh no.
Season 1 of Black Lightning.
No.
No.
That's
I disagree.
bullshit.
No.
Season 1 of Smallville.
Oh, are we counting
Well,
Smallville?
he said today. I
Are
mean,
we
as in,
counting
like,
Smallville?
What's the best
Season 2 of The
DC
Flash.
season to date?
No?
Okay, I would say
Season 3 is better
season
than
1 of
season
Flash
1.
and season 3 of Legends.
Whoa, wait.
Really, season 3?
Season 3
3.
of Smallville.
Season
Season
2
3
had
is
the
Smallville. Go
Doom,
what?
had the
The Doom.
Legion of Doom, right?
Yeah, but I really hated Damien Dark back then, and I was
I
tired
still hate
of
Damien
Malcolm
Dark, yeah.
Merlin. But I thought
And
season
that's why
3
I would-
really made
I would
Damien
go
Dark
for
interesting.
Flash
do
season
have
2.
I do have to show some love to Ro because he did star in a show with Dean Cain about chasing a Bigfoot, and I think it was magnificent. He did. So tying us back to DC Comics, Dean Cain and Ro have a special connection.
Yeah, we do.
Oh
So, we do have a
wow,
special connection.
that's cool.
That's a
And it's
fun,
not
Yeah.
porn.
fun
It was
fact-
not porn.
Fun fact behind the scenes. they
If
do
it had
have
been
special
porn,
connection.
then I'd watch it. But,
Well,
Exactly, me
I mean,
too.
that's
Oh,
most
wow.
people would.
Now let's
That's why
talk
it's
about
good
this
after
'cause
dark.
we haven't talked about San Diego Comic-Con, and
Johnny Parker too.
let's get people up to par with what they should expect from San Diego Comic-Con and what they should be looking forward to, and maybe some things they should be looking out for. So Daniel, I'm going to start with you. First of all, I want to know what's the main thing, Daniel. I'm going to start with you. What's the main thing that you're looking forward to for San Diego Comic-Con?
Well, not too many people are showing up, so I guess there's supposed to be a Doctor Who kind of thing going on. I'm interested in that because I know they're actually going to show.
All right, now
It's
Andy, I'm really curious. What's the thing that you're not looking forward to at San Diego Comic-Con?
The Iron Fist panel.
Iron.
Because I'm so nervous about. Because look, I hated season 1 of Iron Fist. Straight up. I hope this new season will be better. I'm just terrified that it's not gonna impress people.
Okay. Tatiana, what is the Dark Horse panel that you think could be the presentation at Comic-Con that could steal the show?
oh God, Dark Horse panel.
Is there something?
Okay,
Do you even read Dark
Yep.
Horse, Teddy?
no, I
Not
think he
Dark
means. I
Horse
think he
comics,
means
like
like
Dark Horse,
you
like
know
what's the-
underdog, the
Yeah,
underdog panel.
Oh.
That's really
Is there-
hard.
is
I'm
there-
kind of wondering like.
Was that, hold on, was that a little shade thrown there? Because it was like, do you even read Dark Horse, honey? Was that a little shade?
No,
thrown
no,
in there?
no, because I know she reads mostly DC and Marvel, so I was like, does she even read
What
any
makes you
books from
think?
Dark?
I
Hey,
read
Toots.
Image.
I don't
I
read
read Boom.
I felt it and I was on this side.
Did Andy
So-
pull a
I felt it. I felt the shame.
Yeah, like
And Johnny Parker too feels shame right now. So
yeah, disrespecting me and my
Yeah,
comics knowledge.
yeah,
No, but I mean, to be fair, I don't read Dark Horse, so
There
you
you
are
go.
correct. I don't actually read Dark Horse comics. I had before though. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'm trying to think of what's a Dark Horse one. Like, I don't know. I feel like
Katy Perry.
I was just gonna say it. I was like, I know that Dark Horse.
Stolen.
Okay, so what I want is, even though this is not really Dark Horse, but WB, because everything that they're putting, like, I want there to be Aquaman trailer, and I want it to be good, which I feel like is a long shot.
Fair enough.
So,
Hater.
sorry, I'm just saying, I want Aquaman to be good, and
I mean, it's
feel like it won't be.
a fair answer.
Really
So-
good
You know,
answer.
Teddy, you know what would be great
What
is
would be
that
great?
if the DC TV trailer could be just as great as the Aquaman trailer is going to be.
that would be great and likely.
So, Rob, question for you.
Who?
Rob.
Only Johnny Parker Jr.
No,
here.
I'm gonna call him Rob. Rob, for real. If you're looking at Comic-Con, because you went last year. That's actually where I met you. Going to Comic-Con last year. What do you think people should be the most excited for? If they don't have a badge, I should say.
If they don't have a badge.
Because there's a lot of people that go out to San Diego that don't have badges.
I mean, to go on the outside, there's lots of activations on the outside.
I know one.
You know one.
Activations on the outside are always fun.
I'm hoping the Deadpool 2 ones
to be
will be
honest,
cool.
I feel jaded at cons because like I don't need to like for me personally like to go to a panel to listen to it. I could literally pop it up on my phone later and listen to it.
That's why I want to go to the
hours in
smaller
line to go
one.
do that's me, and I feel jaded off of that. But like if you were to go there and you're like, hey, what could I do in the area instead of going in and waiting 8 hours for something? Go and see these activations because activations are quite fun actually. I remember going to the Walking Dead one last year, the Star Trek one last year. And these were all things that were like, oh, these are actual movie props. They're fun, interactive. They've got actors that are doing involvement in there. I want to say there was like some type of like paintball looking one for Walking Dead last year that like you went in and you got shot. Like stupid.
Hey, yeah, I mean, everyone said that the Westworld one was pretty crazy.
Yes.
Like,
but like I remember walking around and being like on Saturday last year and being just like, I don't even want to be here because I'm like this to somebody walking down the street. I don't like that. Like if you're yeah. There's like you're like a penguin walking down.
I thought you were just like leaning into people randomly while you walk down the street.
I mean, it was basically essentially like that, and I didn't even have to like, you know, walk the other way. But yeah, that's my opinion. I think outside would be great with that.
so Andy, I have to ask you, what's the one essential thing you need to take with you to San Diego Comic-Con?
Deodorant.
Deodorant.
Why is
yeah.
that? Obviously, that's pretty self-explanatory thing.
hot in
Because
San Diego.
it gets
A lot of
really
people
hot
in
in San
costume.
Diego, and you don't want to smell like a dick.
And Daniel,
Whoa.
I know that you're used to sweating a lot. So when you forehead sweat, do you use perspirant on your forehead?
No, man.
No.
No, he's shiny already.
I got that little towel. Like
Hey,
this.
have you
that's a
ever
good idea.
seen all that like
I got,
trick
like,
with
the
the
Southern
dog?
man
Tag out, tag it out.
Hold on. Y'all ever seen that trick with the dog trick
Your
where they
privilege
like
is
do it and
your
they
privilege
drop
is
it
gone.
down?
You gotta move.
Okay, I'm gonna do it with a hat. Ready? And we're gonna change.
Oh my God. Okay. All right.
Privilege
You should
We can
just do
still
the
see
Dragon
you.
Ball thing, like where they
You-
fuse.
Transform.
Privilege revoked.
So wait,
That was like
look,
some, that was
oh
some
God,
Power
no.
Rangers. That was
No.
some Power Rangers
I lost-
level effects.
I
right
lost my
there.
privilege, but I gained swagger, so I'm okay with this. Just nobody steal it from me.
So
That's
Johnny,
my
I have a
culture.
question for you. I do have a question. I'm really Rose looking forward to Magician's panel. Well, what's coming up? In
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Oh,
It's
so
all
good!
about magicians. I fucking love magicians.
Magicians is
It's
dope.
what Harry
Oh my
Potter
God.
should have been from the beginning.
Yes.
I've
Okay,
said
so
it.
Come on and
magicians-
say it. Come on and say it.
I kind of feel like Magician season 3.
Wait, say it when you get in here.
So, I think one of the most underrated shows on TV right now is The Magician.
Yes.
They had a great season 1. It was a great book series. They almost dropped the ball in season 2, but became one of the best, most creative, well-written, well-directed, well-acted shows on TV for their season 3. It's really rare to see a show pick up and become something fucking really special in their third season.
Time out.
Yeah.
So
I
you know,
know
Every
the
season it
Magician
gets like
Exactly.
better.
A friend of
And
mine-
the thing
really
is, it's all
fucking
done,
special.
It's all done with a diverse cast. It's
So
not
diverse.
forced. It's like
Yeah.
they're just like the diversity doesn't play a part of the plot. They're
Yeah.
just diverse people there, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing to see.
wait
What
a
do you
minute.
say, Joe?
A friend of mine is on that show.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Which
But I don't
friend?
know what she plays. Her name's Olivia.
Olivia.
Hold on, let's see. I'll pull her up.
She's a
and
really
I'll tell you.
interesting character, really conflicted character. Alice is really
girl.
she's
This
one
is
of
Oh,
the,
Olivia Taylor-Dudley.
Yeah, Olivia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's
okay,
great.
Alice. Yeah.
Oh wait, seriously?
Yeah.
You're friends with her?
So funny story
Good to
about
know.
this. And it's so funny.
Brag story.
No.
You sure?
So yeah, I was her production coordinator when we were PAs together.
Oh, that's so
Oh,
cool.
that's crazy.
Oh wow.
Small world.
Aw.
And
Bring her to our party. One of the things that people should look forward to, just announced today at Comic-Con, Thursday night, opening night party at the Harbor House, just north of the Convention Center in the Gaslight District, walking center from the North Hall. Harbor House, that hashtag show, opening night party, launch party, 7
What are you gonna
p.m.
have
at
for
the Harbor
us?
House. We're going to have Cast of the Magicians, right? Are we going to work that out?
we are gonna have vodka.
Vodka. Okay. All right.
Vodka.
Vodka. That's what I like.
But no, Olivia. So Olivia and I, yes, also come to that party. But Olivia and I was her coordinator. She was a PA, and dude, this is, I don't even know. I'm gonna say it anyway. So we were working on a show together, which, by the way, neither one of us actually ended up getting paid for.
Oh
So I
my
got
God.
the check for it, but it bounced. It was, I'm going to call him out. Brian McKnight. It was you. It was the Brian McKnight show.
No, not Brian.
Yeah, Brian.
Not
Fuck that
one.
guy.
You make my dreams come.
Dude, his executive producer fucking ran off on us.
Oh my God.
Gave me 2 checks,
Oh,
never
shit.
paid either one of us.
That's
bet.
crazy.
Olivia had it even worse because this is a true story. So she was at a Subway getting crew dinners. A homeless dude came up to her and almost tried to strangle her.
What?
Yeah, true story. And then she ended up coming back. She was distraught, and then we sent her home.
Wow.
And then her and I have been friends ever since. Because I don't know if anybody knows this, but before this what is it, The Magicians?
Yeah.
She was
Right.
on something called 5 Second Film, and she would always send me links to 5 Second Film, all the things she was in, and I was like, all right, cool. But she was super cool. I haven't talked to Olivia in probably like 2 years, but she's
So a
awesome.
close friend.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
coming full circle.
Very close. Very
I
close.
saw her once in a hallway.
Yeah. So coming full circle, her character is great. One thing that I'm really looking forward to that nobody, it's not a big thing, but I think we can expect big things from the next season of The Magicians, provided it is on Sci-Fi. You never expect big things from Sci-Fi, but
And
how
the
long ago was
Expanse,
that?
They have let go.
Daniel just started
How long
watching
ago
it.
was that?
What is Sharknado?
That's what I'm saying.
Sharknado!
Hey,
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Which is
last
also
season.
gonna-
Last
that's also
last
gonna be
movie.
in
Last
there.
movie.
Comic-Con.
I love Sci-Fi. I love their shows. I love shows like Killjoys and The Magicians.
Hey, 12
and-
Monkeys, man. 12
12
Monkeys.
Monkeys.
Solid.
I
It was on.
love
But
sci-fi
really
shows.
Krypton.
I really do. But I
love
think,
it.
and The
You sound like
Expanse,
sound
The
like the guy.
Expanse, right?
Yeah. And Trimmers.
But I think The Magicians, people need to come up. I would like to hear something
Wait,
exciting
so
for season 4.
Before you
and I'm
tag
looking
out to
forward
anybody,
that.
I do have to ask you a question, Ro.
Yeah.
This celebrates the 10th anniversary. Star Wars Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Aw.
What are you expecting? What do you want to see happen?
There's one thing.
And are you excited?
I am very excited, and I'm hoping to see our first glimpse of Dave Filoni's next project.
Resistance.
Star Wars
But that-
Resistance.
On a
There's
Clo-
rumors
on a
we're
Clone
gonna
Wars panel?
yeah there's rumors we're gonna see like some still images, some poster art, some very very minimal things. I'm hoping they surprise us, which Lucasfilm sometimes does. I'm hoping they surprise us with at least a teaser.
Tatiana,
Yes.
best Comic-Con story of all time for you.
Meeting me.
Meeting you, yes, that was the greatest love story of all time. No, I don't even know what is my best Comic-Con story, because I've only been to Comic-Con one time.
So we don't have a best story yet.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
hey,
waiting
we're
for
coming
you to show me.
Don't
the
get
path
Andy mad.
to
Don't get
greatness.
Andy mad.
No,
He
but
gets jealous
honestly,
about
I will
meeting
leave.
meeting him and Lauren, and
Whoa,
we actually
whoa.
met.
You mean me?
Well,
No, your name is not Lauren.
She meant him and Lauren, so that meant me.
Oh, well, I guess.
all right, well.
I think.
You met
Anyway,
today.
but
what
exactly.
she
We
meant,
just
though.
met today, and it was. You know what? This is the beginning of Comic-Con for me now, right?
There it is.
Having
There it is.
met Joe. Now
3 days.
I'm ready. Exactly. I'm ready. No, but for
I'm
real.
gonna shape you guys in my fan picture.
No, but really, meeting them, and
That's your fan
I think we
fiction.
were actually. Wasn't it at like a?
There is
It
a
was like
lot
a
of
writers panel. It was because it was like one of
Yeah,
the small rooms.
Yeah, we met.
And I rarely had the chance to go to the small rooms, and I actually got to.
good.
And she said right.
That's
And
great.
she said
Sorry,
right
I'm so
behind
sorry.
me.
That's
I'm so
all
sorry.
right.
I didn't mean
It's okay. I understand. That is very good.
to... You
In
want
fact,
to try it?
I would like to try it.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
in fact.
It's
Thank
really
you.
good.
Thank you. All right.
You know we're
What is
driving
it?
home,
Vodka
right?
and I
It's
don't
a
want to have like a
sip. It's a
sip. Yeah.
Okay, just don't get us drunk.
Vodka squirt.
Us?
Lemon.
When I drink, he gets drunk. Thank you.
No,
He is-
symbiote mind
that is
here?
actually very good.
We
That
are
is actually
Venom.
very good.
We are one.
We are Venom.
I don't like it.
We are Venom.
So I know
Oh,
about it. I
we are
understood it.
Venom. We are Venom.
It's from the new movie Venom.
No, I
starring
got
Tom
it. I
Hardy.
got it. You know,
I'm rubbing off on you.
we've been talking about Tom Hardy. Like, I don't know what it is, but I like Tom Hardy much better when he doesn't speak. Like, I'm really into him.
Or you like him better when he's like, "Whoo!"
No, see, that's probably why, because of fucking Bane. Like, when he speaks, I just hear Bane. So I just like him when he's silent.
Pretty much, you don't have a Comic-Con story yet. We're gonna make your story
Yes,
this weekend.
please do.
Johnny, question for you, because Johnny, you're an accomplished comic book creator, so you know the ins and outs of Comic-Con. If you were to run into any comic creator, who would you fanboy out about?
Ooh.
Fanboy out about? I said that right?
Yeah, okay. So any comic creator who I'll probably like fanboy out over.
That counts comic writers, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
This point I'm trying to figure out who I met that it would be like I would kind of go crazy over. Probably, no. Probably, shit. fanboy out over. Damn it! I know a lot of people now.
It's a tough
No,
question.
because I know a lot of people now.
Scott
And some of the,
Snyder?
no,
it gets
I'm
worse.
actually
Jason Aaron?
I'm actually interviewing them. So.
Jason Aaron?
Nice.
Yeah, who?
Jason Aaron?
Ooh.
No.
Benjamin Percy?
Oh, okay. I got it now. What's the homie's name? Shoot, it's on the tip of my tongue. Who does Saga?
Oh yes.
Brian K. Vaughn.
Brian K.
Yeah,
Vaughn,
I
yeah.
forgot
That
what
actually
it
would
is.
be
amazing.
Because
That'd be
because
amazing.
the reason why is
Yeah.
because Why the Last Man is one of my favorite series.
Afraid of Runaway.
Oh,
It's
the-
actually in my backpack right now when I
Oh,
take it to France.
seriously?
Yep.
And then the second person, because again, like I've got a chance to meet a couple people, Ben Dez, other people, but like one person would be Robert Kirkman.
Oh, okay.
Because
Okay.
Robert Kirkman
He was
is, like,
sitting in front of me at the premiere of Last Jedi.
Oh, for real?
Damn.
Oh, that's dope. Because like Robert Kirkman
You've
for
got the
every
proximity
independent.
to everyone.
Well,
That's
no,
what he
well,
does.
I just remembered Robert Kirkman. I was like, oh shit. I remember
Walking
Robert
Dead.
Kirkman. Ro remembered David Tennant. Like that was the thing.
David
I was like,
Tennant,
you know,
wow.
that's Robert Kirkman. He's like, that's the Doctor.
But you know what's crazy though? Of all the people I've met, the coolest person I've ever met was I met one of the original executive producer of X-Men animated series.
Larry Houston.
Yeah, he stopped by my table at a con, and we like shot the shit for a minute. He was like, you know, you should put your name on your banner. I was like, really? He's like, if you don't put it there, people know who you are. Like, people know who I am. I'm like, who are you? He's like, oh, I'm Larry blah blah. I made it. I was like, are you fucking serious? And then we had like a 30-minute conversation where he told me all the stuff he did on X-Men and everything like that. Like that, I
think he'd
fanboyed
be
over.
great.
Yeah.
And then it was really dope. He's bought my books too, and I was like, oh shit, my childhood supports me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And that's really cool too that like you didn't know who he was when you saw him, but
No. And he's a
it's
totally
like
cool guy.
exciting when you.
Joe, I got a good. I have a good ComicCon story to tell you.
Uh oh.
Oh,
Yeah, we got
Because I never told it to anyone actually on
Now
the
you're
podcast.
telling it to
Okay.
everyone.
I've only told it.
Hold on, I gotta write this up. Exclusive.
Yeah, exclusive.
Yeah,
Yeah, go
right?
for it. So it was about 2 years ago. I was heading to a Comic-Con party, and I was in. I don't live in San Diego, so directions are difficult for me. So I walked past a bunch of blocks, and I run into this woman who I don't realize who it is at first, like until I look at her clearly in her face. It's Retta from Parks and Rec. Yeah.
Oh my god,
And I'm like,
Donna.
Retta, she plays Donna.
Yeah.
Oh,
Donna Meagle.
Yeah,
Donna Meagle from Parks and Rec.
I never saw Parks and Rec.
Retta.
never
Okay.
saw me.
Retta.
Yeah, it's Retta.
Joe,
Let me-
treat yourself.
Exactly.
Treat
Treat
yourself.
Treat
yourself.
yourself.
Treat
Have
yourself.
you
Treat yourself.
really never seen Parks and Rec? Have you seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Okay. So
Have you
like,
Wait,
like, The
Daniel.
Office?
Yes.
Daniel,
Okay.
is that vodka too expensive? Who cares? Treat yourself.
treat yourself.
That's her thing.
Is that mic too
That's her
expensive
thing.
for you? Treat yourself.
Not
Okay,
like that.
so like, I turned my face on like, do you know where like, oh my god, it's you? She's like, shh, calm down. I'm like, oh, I don't know at all who you are, just because I wanted to respect her privacy. And she gave me the directions to the party, and before I
that's
left,
so
I
nice.
just leaned in quickly and said, watch your Parks and Rec, and then ran off.
She's so great. She's on a new show right now. Well, it's not new anymore, but Good Girls
Oh yeah.
on
Oh.
NBC, I think. Yeah, which seemed like it was gonna be a comedy. It is definitely not. a
Google
comedy.
Retta.
There you
Google
go.
it.
That's all.
Let me do it for you.
Is it good though?
Yeah, it's good.
It looked like it was good. It
It's
seemed
good.
like a good premise.
Yeah, I was just like, wow, this is really dramatic.
Oh nice.
I don't know who that is.
You've never seen it?
Delete your
He
account.
hasn't seen
All right,
Parks
well,
and
you
Rec.
need to watch
That's
Parks
like
and
that's like if we
Yeah.
ran to Kevin from The Office and you never seen
Right,
The Office.
exactly. It would
Exactly.
not matter to
You'd be
you.
like Kevin, the voice.
How do you
the
not know who
M&Ms.
Kevin is?
Wouldn't know it.
He's the accountant.
Fucking Ron, one of the best mustaches.
Yes,
Yeah,
Ron
we-
Swanson.
yeah,
Ron Swanson.
Ron Swanson.
Kevin, you mean Kevin Malone?
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's a Comic-Con story I shared.
I actually met Angela from The Office.
She's
Really?
Yeah, I met her when she was pregnant.
Oh wow.
the only
in,
person I've met
Hollywood
from The
Live.
Office was John Krasinski.
Oh, that's a really cool person to meet from the
interviewing
office.
him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
That's a good one.
But
to meet.
I want to meet the whole cast.
Yeah.
Who has he not interviewed?
I haven't met anybody else from The Office.
Like,
Well, you know what you should watch Parks and Rec and then get to know those people.
you know, it seems like
You know
would be
Chris
cool for
Pratt
them?
was in it, right?
Steve Carell. He seems
Well-
like he'd be chill.
I thought,
Yeah.
I think Steve Carell's such a talented actor.
He is.
Like,
Yeah, man.
he's so good. Like,
Have you ever seen have you ever seen the Netflix documentary about Dana Carvey's show?
no.
Dana Carvey, when he left SNL, he got his own spin-off show, and on there he had
Oh my God, everyone.
He had Steve Carell. He had Stephen Colbert. He had Louis C.K. before the charges.
Oh, God.
And like all these other people were all like spun off to their great careers now, but the show bombed and like was canceled in like 3 episodes.
Yeah,
Wow.
Steve Carell was in a great movie called Foxcatcher.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The wrestling one,
I
right?
thought you were
Wrestling
gonna say
one,
Stupid
amazing.
Crazy
How was
Love,
that?
but that's okay.
Stupid Crazy Love's also great. Another one that he was in that I thought was brilliant was just recently came out where the Billy Holiday, right? Billy, the tennis movie.
Oh.
Billie Jean King. It was Billie Jean King and Battle of the Sexes. Brilliant in that movie. I think Steve Carell, He is such a great actor.
Oh, he's amazing.
He is. He's very versatile.
He's super underrated.
Yeah.
Also,
But you know,
I think.
you know, it's a crazy story because you remember how he was a Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah.
So when they cast him for Little Miss Sunshine, at first they're like, "Well, we're going to go with this guy. You know, we got him. He's doing a good job." And then after that, The Office blew up, and they were like, "Holy shit, we got Steve Carell." And that movie just got so much more plug after that.
Is that really true?
Yeah, they did.
Wow.
They just cast him because like, all right, we got this. He's a no-name guy. But literally, as they were like working on The Office comes out, it blows up, and it gives their movie like that much juice. And
I
everything
didn't
like
realize that Little Miss Sunshine was that old.
Yeah.
Now
All right,
I
so,
feel old.
Wait, whoa. New question.
We're never old. We're on YouTube.
Okay.
We know our age.
So, what?
For comic.
Immortal.
Comic-Con.
There it is.
What cosplay do you think you're going to see the most of?
Bebo.
Wait, because really think about this, because there's last year I would have said It,
Right.
which
Yes.
you could probably say now. There's also Thanos.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Thanos. Yeah.
There's
Someone will cosplaying as a snapper.
fucking Harley Quinn is gonna have to be one.
Yeah,
of them, for
always.
Sure. She's
Yeah.
always on the list.
Always.
Deadpool, since we had a
Yeah,
Deadpool
we just said
year.
Deadpool. Maybe some Domino.
Domino's another good one.
Cable.
Cable. So, what do you think is gonna be the most popular cosplay at Comic-Con that you're gonna want to punch somebody in the face?
I mean, honestly, because I sit at a table all day, like selling books and whatnot. So we play a game where we count the Deadpool and Harley Quinn cosplays, and there's always over 30 each day.
Wow.
But I think literally the cosplay that's going to be increased this year is two. I think one is going to be My Hero Academia. It's a really popular anime. It took over Anime
Really?
Expo.
Really? You think that's gonna be
Yeah,
popular?
like there was cosplay for that all over the place because the kids love it. And the second one, like I'm seeing it grow every year, and it makes me happy every time. Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Yes.
Every year, there's a
Daniel.
little bit more and more.
What's yours?
Actually, Deadpool. It's given.
Wow,
Yeah,
so you went Deadpool, okay?
Yeah.
Andy?
Bebo.
Bebo. That's a
Really?
I'm telling you,
No,
you're not going to see a lot of Bebo.
I think there will be one Bebo at least.
Yeah, but that's not
most
most popular.
though.
I do agree that Deadpool and Harley Quinn are just gonna,
Yeah.
I'm
that's
gonna go
just
ahead.
staples.
I'm gonna go ahead and say Dolores. I'm gonna say Dolores.
Dolores from Westworld?
Westworld.
Oh.
I've never seen a
think-
Westworld cosplay.
I've
Yeah,
seen a
me
few.
either.
I've seen a few. I think we're gonna see more Doloreses this year because this is a Westworld
Wow.
year.
Can I say one thing I do hate about cosplay?
Cosplay.
Oh, that's true.
I think we'll see Black Panther, but
Yeah.
that costume's so hard to execute. Dolores is just dress, right?
Maybe if
Black
you did like
Panther,
Dora
you actually
Milaje.
have
Maybe
to-
I can-
You gotta
Like, yeah,
get
Y'all
if you
should
gotta get
cosplay
buff.
as Dora Milaje.
Dora,
I
yeah,
have
you
not
do.
seen a good Dora Milaje.
That's
in
what I
person.
want. That's
In
what I
person, I have
want.
not.
I mean, we're gonna see a ton of Batmans for sure.
Yeah.
Always. Ton of
Peter
Spider-Mans.
Quills,
Female Doctor Who.
Spider-Man.
Female Doctor Who, that's a
Ooh,
good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
The female
That's a
Doctor
good-
Who,
that's
that's
a
a
Dude,
good
'cause that's a
one.
comfortable
Oh, that's
outfit,
gonna be- that's
man.
gonna be fun.
But
Do
it's
Do you
gonna
think
be
we'll
hot.
see any males gender bend that?
Whovian's always gender bent.
Yeah.
They do. So do you think
but
we'll
the
see
thing
a gender bend male female Doctor Who?
Yeah,
That makes sense.
because
Probably.
they're gonna
Wait.
be better, like, yeah.
I mean, we might, but I feel like that's a little bit more. That's a huge generalization, but I feel like men are more likely to feel emasculated by
I
taking
would do
on
it.
a female costume.
Okay,
So
let's
it might be
pose a
less.
question to our guys on this panel.
Andy, I love the self-promotion
Huh?
right there, by the way.
What? What?
I see plenty of guys wearing
What?
Whovians.
Oh.
Yeah.
Keep it on there. Keep it on there. What are you doing?
What?
Leave it
Okay,
on there
okay.
so they know.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Joe,
That's
Joe,
where he
I
comes
didn't
from.
Okay, so can I say one
This
thing
is
about
his
cosplay now?
home.
About Deadpool? People who cosplay Deadpool. Look, I appreciate you, but you're not all funny, and you're not actually Ryan Reynolds. Calm the hell down. It gets annoying after a while. Please. All right, I'm good. Go ahead.
And that's been your PSA with.
Johnny
With
Parker.
Johnny
All right, so guys, since you posed a great question,
Oh.
what is the female cosplay that you guys would gender bend?
Oh, there you go.
Iris as a speedster.
I would love
fair
that.
enough.
Because I would love to see some more men wear purple.
Really playing to your crowd there, Andy.
Yeah, no, but like, because that costume became so iconic after
Daniel?
that one episode. So.
Storm.
Okay.
What do you say?
Storm.
Storm. Ooh, I
Like
love
the
that.
like
Black male Storm.
Yeah.
Dude.
with the mohawk.
She's one of my favorite characters. I would have fun with it. Jubilee.
Oh, nice.
Fair.
Does
So I
she
think
go
I
all
think
the
I would go with
comics?
Rey from Star Wars.
Oh, that'd
That's
be
a
dope.
good one.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Like
Rey
a
from
male
Star
Rey
Wars.
from
be
Star
dope.
Wars. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Nice.
What about you? What did you gender bend?
If I was gonna do a male costume, let's see.
Hulk
I
Hogan.
would probably. You know what? I would probably do.
Hulk Hogan?
No, I would not do Hulk
I
Hogan.
thought you were getting me hyped up for that.
John Cena.
I might do the Hulk.
I want to take mine back now.
She-Hulk. man.
What?
I want to do Sasha Banks
I
then.
knew you were gonna say
Sasha Banks.
It's boss time.
Oh man.
Oh, Joe, look at the comments. We have one from producer Josh.
Producer John.
Slave Leia. 100%.
We're
We're gonna call it. We're gonna call it.
I can probably pull it
Swim
off.
Trunks Leo.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, I could probably pull it off. I mean, you know.
You definitely could.
I mean, I got these, so it's fine.
You
I
could,
mean,
you could,
it
wait,
would
you could,
fit.
you
It
could
would
put on a
fit.
bra. You could put on a bra
Yeah, I
and
could put on a
shape
bra.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
would
would
work.
look
So
nice.
who would you choose? Gender Bennett.
Okay, so if I'm not doing Hulk, since apparently you did not like that.
Oh, you chose the Hulk?
Yeah, the Hulk, like literally
That's
just the
yours?
Hulk.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, but it's already She-Hulk.
I was like, what is that? Is that your foot that I just hit?
No, I mean, you did hit my foot, but
Sorry,
it was
I don't know.
alright. It was
What
cool.
the fuck was
Oh
that?
my god, my
They were just
family
meeting.
is just expanding and expanding about you two.
Okay, so we're gonna move on for a second.
Okay, let's move on.
Let's
Their cute meat was
let's
something
figure
you had.
out.
It happened live on After Dark.
Talk about what you guys think is. What's the biggest letdown of this year's Comic-Con going into it this year for you guys?
Supergirls and the pullouts. Not showing up. I mean, they were just like, yeah, we're not gonna do it.
Pullouts?
Yeah, they're not
Like
gonna be there.
HBO's not doing it.
That's
Marvel.
so we.
Yeah, Marvel's
Someone
not
else.
doing.
Is Fox there?
Sabrina.
Yeah. Also,
Wait,
Nerd
Sabrina's
HQ.
not gonna
do it
is
because
not
They're gonna have
doing
a
it.
bag,
They
but
do.
they so far they have, unless they do a surprise announcement, there is no panel
Right.
set for Sabrina.
That sucks. I
And
wanna
no,
see
and
that
no
series.
Titans either.
Well, they will have presence there by DC Universe experience.
But like,
Yeah, but that's not the same thing.
But let me ask you guys this though: like, with some of these studios and pulling out, is that necessarily a bad thing? Because I was kind of hoping that, like, by them pulling out a little
I
bit,
think it's a
the
good
hype
thing.
dials down a little bit so more people can go.
That's
I think
true.
it's a
That's
good
true.
thing because now the one thing to answer his question, I'm disappointed that we're not seeing more TV shows in Hall H. One of the best memories I had of at least watching on YouTube was when all of these TV shows on Saturday night came to Hall H and had a 3-hour presentation. All of them were together on the panel, and that was
usually Sundays.
no Saturday. That was Saturday, and it was the best.
Oh, it was Saturdays. You know why I know that?
Why?
Is
Are you gonna brag about something else?
no, I got stuck there, and this is not a brag moment.
I
actually.
got
Uh-oh.
stuck there.
Oh, so I went to Comic-Con one year
Mm-hmm.
with Josh, and I waited in line all night, all day, and I just wanted to go to the Marvel panel. Guess who was? They cut it off. Guess who was the next guy to get in to go to the Marvel panel?
Your producer.
This guy. Guess who didn't get in? This guy.
No.
People were tweeting me
Oh.
about seats that were open. They were tweeting us all about seats that were open. I was showing the guard, like, these are open. I
Oh
should go in.
no.
That's so frustrating.
Guess what panel I made it into, though? The CW panel and the fucking DC panel. Did it make it all better? Fuck no. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because
dog.
we sat in the wrong section. We didn't give T-shirts.
No.
They wouldn't even give it to us. Like, well, can we get one? I'm like, no. I was like, wait,
That's
what?
so cruel.
And I was like, fuck this. I'm leaving.
Wow.
That was the worst Comic-Con experience I've ever had in my life.
How many years ago
Wow.
was that?
4?
4 years ago. Wow.
Yeah, it was
Wow. That
This
sucks.
was right when Flash was premiering. They were
Right,
doing
when
it
it's
all
premiering,
together. See, that's why I think it's the worst experience so far with this year's comic. Is that they're not bringing more TV shows to Hall H.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, I'm happy not having to go to Hall H. to be
exactly,
honest.
and
Like,
and
I would
Fox
rather
is not
go
doing
to
that
Hall
much
H.
either. So I'm like, what? They should have brought
Okay.
CW's
so
TV show.
here's
Like Riverdale gets Hall H.
Here's my take on this. I actually think that it's a bad idea not to bring films. I'm actually happy they wouldn't have a lot of TV in there, mainly because, especially with Comic-Con, they have WonderCon.
Yeah.
They should be promoting all the TV stuff there.
But
which
they don't.
They should, though.
Right.
That's
They
what
should
because
do
that's when a
more.
lot of shows are filming their
WonderCon,
finales.
right? But WonderCon should be the TV show epic thing that it should be.
Hmm.
I think that with Comic-Con, everybody pulling out, I think it's bad for Comic-Con actually.
Wow.
I mean, not
I mean, it's bad for Comic-Con.
not
for sure.
speaking about the fans.
Yeah.
because
Good for fans, bad for the.
fans are going to go regardless. But, and I think it's also a little strange this year, not strange, but maybe not in the best interest of Comic-Con to block off the whole fucking
God. Okay, yeah.
street.
You actually might want to talk about that because we know about it because we got the emails, but some of the fans might not know
Yeah,
about
so
it.
we'll talk about that in a second. But they blocked off the whole street. That means you can't cosplay in those streets.
Yeah.
That means you can't even go in those streets without a badge. I think
crazy.
not only is it crazy, but I think it's a huge problem, mainly because they don't have the draw that they did in years past. Marvel's gone. Star Wars is gone.
Yep. Twilight.
Twilight?
Well, thank God
That's-
Twilight's gone.
that's
But
a
some
throwback.
of these major TV shows aren't there. Like the first major TV show that made the biggest impact, regardless of what people think about it, but the first major TV show that made a huge impact at Comic-Con was Lost.
Right.
That was a Hall H panel where people would line up specifically for it.
Yep.
And Lost made that impact. Those kind of things aren't there in Hall H this year.
No.
Right.
I mean, the best we can say is probably what? Aquaman? Shazam? But
Wonder Woman.
I'm saying
Yeah.
Predator. I mean, Predator, Wonder Woman 2.
Wonder
Wonder Woman
Woman
2 is probably
Wonder
Wonder
Woman.
Woman.
Right.
Yes.
But mistake from Warner Brothers. They're going on first,
Yeah.
just like they normally do. Huge
They
mistake.
should wait.
It's a horror movie. I
Yeah.
agree. The
You
Nun.
think they should close?
I think they should close.
Yeah.
Take that
Yeah.
Marvel spot. You gotta
Right.
close. You gotta close out the con.
Yeah.
Now you know what's closing the con? It's gonna be
Kevin Smith's
not even. It's some like
Crown and Nobel?
shitty. No, it's like some shitty movie that nobody's ever heard of.
Really?
Yeah. To me, that's your whole
Wait,
age.
What's the movie?
Let's look at the schedule. Stall.
Because I was gonna say
Does
like.
that mean? I'll put it in the comments. Does that mean that this is open?
Yeah, they can still
Does
hear.
that mean that?
No, I was gonna say like I know they're doing both Better Call Saul and the 10th anniversary of Breaking Bad,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's I don't know.
But
It's a
this
little.
lack of presence, does that mean, guys, that it opens up for things, these sleeper hits, to take over?
It should.
Yeah.
In theory, it should, but will it? No. And I'll tell you why.
Does that give Clone Wars or
No.
like I said, magicians more of an opportunity to push their presence?
I don't think so. I personally.
I mean, I think they're in small. Aren't those rooms going to be in small?
Right, like
they're gonna be in
Magicians
small
like
rooms.
Indigo, right?
Yeah.
Indigo Ballroom. So.
No.
Low key, a lot of times when those TV shows go to Hall H, they're not always as successful. Like I remember, like
Right.
when Community first went, I remember they were in Ballroom 20 for that first season. It was amazing. It was a packed house. Later on, for about season 3, they luckily enough got a Hall H, and I was there and they gave out free stuff, but they did not fill the room.
That's
the entire
awkward.
back end was like empty and everything like that. So a lot of times these TV shows, for some weird reason, they don't have the juice to fill that room.
Right. I'm always surprised when like Teen Wolf would be in Hall H, and I was like, the entire viewing audience of Teen Wolf must be in that room
Yeah,
because
yeah.
those
Yeah.
ratings.
The Teen Wolf people are texting us feverishly. Like, oh, how dare you talk about?
Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying.
7 or 8 years ago, I had a son in junior high that loved Teen Wolf.
Oh really?
Really?
Teen Wolf was a really good show, actually. So.
It was?
I heard it actually was. I heard that.
Teen Wolf. I watched Teen Wolf.
Yeah, no, it was.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Andy.
until
It
they
was
killed
dumb as fuck,
Allison.
but it was
And then I
See,
was
here's
like,
the thing.
fuck
I
you
was
guys.
immediately on board
I'm
with
out.
Teen Wolf when I saw the trailer for it. I was like, why the fuck isn't that wolf playing basketball? I'm done. I'm done. I'm not watching this.
So
Why?
Who plays lacrosse?
He plays lacrosse, right?
the
Yeah.
normal closing panel for Hall H is a night with Kevin Smith, and that
Yeah,
Okay.
that continues to be true. That's the normal thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I'm looking for now
It
Is the
Yeah.
one
Empty.
second
is
one?
yeah, what usually closes it before that? Because usually it's Marvel, but now I'm having a really
It's
tough
like the
time.
6 to 7 spot.
8 o'clock p.m. in Hall H.
I'm gonna tell you just in a second when I find it.
There's the Purge.
The Deadpool 2 panel, which already came out, guys.
I'm
Deadpool 2 is
so
already out.
confused by that.
They're
Why are we
doing a
doing a
Comic-Con
Deadpool
announced a
2
third
panel?
movie.
Yeah.
It's gonna it more than likely it's gonna be X-Force stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Has to
yeah,
be.
yeah.
Isn't Ryan Reynolds kind of checking out?
Listen, I'll
That's
be
what he
honest.
said.
No, here's a real deal.
That's his baby.
Oh, real deal? Real deal?
I was in New York for Deadpool 2.
Okay.
We
Wow, how special. So many.
Oh
so
my
many-
god, let the man tell his story. Alright.
I will say myself out. Good night, everybody.
so apparently Andy knows more about the story than I do.
I
So
do. Go,
why
Andy,
don't
go.
you give us the
No.
status update of what Ryan Reynolds is thinking?
Oh, Joe is so pretty.
Joe, don't give him a stage. Joe, don't give him a stage.
I'm gonna split it with Joe because it's so amazing.
All
Action
right.
is so great.
Let me talk to your more popular co-host. So,
I do want to hear the story
Yeah,
though.
good.
So,
Yeah, I do
So-
want to hear the story.
realistically, what happened is I was in New York and I found it weird that the star of the movie wasn't doing the junket. He only did the red carpet.
He didn't do the junket?
He didn't do the junket. So when he didn't do the junket, it raised a lot of red flags. And then I asked the writers if he was
Tapping out?
Well, yeah, but they said that he was just burnt out of the role.
Yeah. I mean, didn't he say that he wasn't thinking of doing a third one?
Well, he didn't want to do. Supposedly, he didn't want to do the junket because that he felt that people were going to get Deadpool oversaturation.
Okay.
So
That makes sense.
and mainly because he did so many promos. He did the Celine
Yeah.
Dion video. He did the David Beckham thing. He didn't want to be oversaturated, and that's the main reason why he didn't.
Interesting.
Now, do you think it's oversaturation, or do you think he's worried about being?
I don't know. Let me ask my good buddy Ryan Reynolds. Let me text him.
Hey, you're texting right now.
No,
Oh, look, my amazing friend Joe is texting me. How great!
I
3
think
a.m. in the morning on the East Coast.
I think it might be more so. Is it oversaturation? I'm not sure.
No, I wonder because that's the whole thing. Like, is it? Or
I mean, Deadpool is an oversaturated character to begin
Yeah,
with.
that's
the thing.
true.
Yeah,
That's
so-
true.
Well,
But
I
there's
mean,
like
that's the
3
comics
different
fault.
titles for Deadpool. So
But
unnecessary.
I always thought Deadpool was like since it came into fruition being on film, I thought that was Ryan Reynolds' baby. Like it's always been like, he probably slightly orchestrated the whole leak.
Right.
And all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, with that happening, knowing that it would catch a buzz and build a film, and then pushing part 1 as much as he did, and letting everyone know this is mine. 2 comes out, and it was just like, come on, people knew it already.
Well, maybe
This
it's
is
like
his baby.
it's been his baby long enough. Now it's going to college, and he's like ready to
Do you
let it
think
go.
so? I don't know. I mean, give us 3.
Do you want to see a Deadpool
Rule
3?
of 3.
I mean,
It doesn't matter what you.
Doesn't matter what you think.
I mean, I feel like isn't Deadpool 3 just gonna be X-Force anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be X-Force.
Because that's what I'm so curious. Like people say, oh, there's gonna be an X-Force announcement. There's gonna be a Deadpool 3 announcement. Like, what's the fucking
Let me
difference?
ask you a question. So the Fox universe that they have, which is part of the Marvel thing,
Right.
and what DC is doing at their cinematic universe, which one do you think is better?
DC.
Wait,
Because-
DC versus
Fox,
Fox,
Fox.
specifically.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
What? I do declare.
well, here,
What are you saying, sir?
You
well,
didn't
at
Snyder's
least
Justice League?
This
at
gone with the
least
wind,
DC
Yes.
doesn't have a Dark Phoenix.
I do have the vapors.
At least DC is not sitting on like a Dark Phoenix mess.
It's a fact.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
just-
Yeah. At least they put up all their
Point
films.
one to our DC
See,
guy
it's
Andy
weird
here.
though, like, cause like, I mean,
New
we counted
Mutants.
wins. If we counted wins right now, like, this is my personal opinion. DC has 1 movie on the board and
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, and with the Fox films, it's like, because we're just doing with the X-Men, it's like, okay, you got Deadpool,
Yeah.
you got Deadpool 2, and you got X2.
Right.
You got
And Logan.
And,
Logan.
hey,
Logan.
and First
And
Class.
Logan.
First
I
Class,
love
First
yeah.
Class.
I
I
would
love
say
First
Fox,
Class.
and
for
First Class, so
sure.
low key, like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, they're like, what, 5-6 movies to.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we
to
might
choose.
laugh about
hold on.
Fox, but...
That's a great point. Now, Daniel, you sided with the DC side.
Oh yeah, I'm a DC guy.
Wait,
I'm a DC
but
guy.
but is it? But here's the thing: you can be a fan of DC. 'Cause
Yeah.
again, there's no problem with that.
Okay,
Like,
you're gonna
I
tell me
love
Man of
DC
Steel-
comics.
That's
Whoa,
what
one at a
DC
time. One at a
is.
time.
My-
Daniel, go ahead.
You're
Daniel.
gonna tell me Man of Steel was a bad film?
Yes, I will tell you, man. Sorry. Sorry.
He was like,
You guys
no.
didn't see it. You guys didn't see it. You guys didn't see it.
I'm sorry,
But,
Dad. I'm so
but our
sorry, Dad.
producer
I'm so
has
sorry, Dad.
headphones on.
I
I'm so
think
sorry. But
And
Man of
literally,
Steel
he
Yes.
out of
was
his
a
body.
fine film.
Hold on,
I
let
will
him
tell
answer.
you it's a.
Nagami,
I
I'm
will
so
tell you,
sorry.
As a Superman film, it's a bad film.
Yes.
As a Superman film, it's
Yes.
a bad film because that dude on the screen is not Superman.
Right.
No, what he is essentially.
I beg
what he
your
is
pardon.
Carell. What he is Carell until he gets to a particular moment where he actually becomes Clark. It's not him being Superman at all, in my opinion. I feel that what he was Carell. He was trying to deal with the whole thing of being human, trying to understand and respect the fact that ultimately I want to be something less than what I am. I am literally a god walking among men, and I choose to be man.
Hey,
That's
Daniel,
what he
but
was.
do you
That's
remember-
why he
hold on,
was
wait,
Jesus.
time out,
He
time out,
was
time
Jesus.
out.
He was God wrapped in flesh.
Daniel,
That's exactly what
do
he
you remember
was.
the time?
you wanna
Do
drop
you
that mic?
remember the
Right,
time
right.
that you thought that he was
Hey,
carrying?
you shut up! You shut up! Don't do it!
was-
Don't do it.
He was
Boys, play
carrying
nicely.
a ship.
Oh
you
my
thought that was a
God.
workout? Do you remember that? You
The
idiot.
moment where he's pulling
That was
you
hard.
said
You
idiot.
stupid idiot! Yeah, right? And I even tweeted Zack Snyder this.
Snyder didn't respond.
Carrying a ship, and Dale's like, "No, that's him. That's Superman working out. That's how he stays in shape." It's like you're an idiot. Like, legit, that's what you thought, though.
Look, we didn't
I
have the
support
Now
Daniel's
ship.
theory.
we did not have the key. The dwarf. We didn't have the dwarf star key at that time. All right. So how was he actually keeping up with? I don't know.
Oh my
He's
God.
pulling a giant tank.
But
But here's the
I
thing.
really like this debate.
but
Hold on,
ultimately-
wait, hold on.
you know,
All right,
ultimately
we
he
understand.
was saving
He
people.
was
I
saving
was
people.
wrong.
Yeah.
So wait, you chime in on this because
No,
you're on Fox's side.
Yes, I'm on Fox's side. I mean, and I really like that
Why?
interpretation of Man of Steel.
Let it
I
have
think
more
it's a really
movies.
nice. It's a really nice and lofty ideal for the movie, but I don't feel like it was true to Superman or Clark as a character. Especially you've got his parents who've been raising him since he was a child, right? So why is he still learning to be human 10 or 20 years later?
Also, can I just?
No, you can't. Andy has to chime in.
I'm next.
Andy chimes in
Because
now.
you said that. The thing is, like, there's the phrase that people always say about
Andy's turn.
It's fine.
Come on.
It's fine. Go for it. Go
Well,
for it.
people always say be normal, and the thing is, like, just as human beings, there's always someone telling you to be normal. But who in the world ever teaches you how to do something or be something that everyone else is already supposed to be, which is normal? There's no one that ever teaches
Okay,
us.
but
see,
how to
hold
be
on,
normal.
hold on, wait, Johnny,
Human.
wait. My question is this then, because the argument isn't Man of Steel versus any movie; it's the DC movies versus the Fox movies.
Yeah. So after Man
Okay,
of Steel.
okay, all right, fine. But I know someone had something to say about the
Don't
DC
blow out
movie-
Daniel.
about
They got me
the
serious
DC
drums.
movie.
One, two. All right. So here's the thing. So going back to it, like, yeah, he's like, the thing about it wasn't about him being normal. It's like about him being a good person, and that's the thing. Superman is the essential is a good person. He's the model for like what we want to be. He makes the hard decisions. But in that movie, that was not Superman. Superman would not let his father die. Like seriously, as the tornado was coming, he's like, no, stay. The fuck? Come save me, damn it. We'll figure this part out later.
Yeah.
And so the thing about it is that, like, no, Superman is the hero that we're supposed to aspire to be. That was not it.
Right.
Like, I know some people go like, oh, the destruction porn, blah, blah. Like, no, okay, that's fine. But the essential thing about it was, oh, that was not Superman. That's the reason why Justice League got the minor praise that it did, because towards the end of that film, everyone was like, oh, shit. That's Superman. The guy who's more powerful than everybody, the powerful who makes
Johnny,
the
I
hard
have a
decisions.
question for you,
The
though.
power was the hero amongst heroes.
Hold on, wait, I have a question for you. Whoa, hold on, I have a question. I agree with you 100%. That's not Superman. However, the movie's called Man of Steel, not Superman.
Thank you.
Number two.
What?
Oh,
on,
I'm
wait a
never
minute,
I
heard
was
of
gonna
that.
go into that.
Yeah,
I was gonna go
Wait
into
a
that.
minute. The movie's called Man of Steel, not Superman. I don't actually think in that movie he becomes Superman until the very end of the movie. Even when he puts on his suit, he just says this. He never calls himself Superman. They call him Superman. He never becomes Superman until the very end of
I
that
said
movie.
that. I said it's Kal-El becoming human.
So,
becoming Clark,
so here's the
but
thing.
not Superman
Okay, so
yet.
here's the thing. So, just to go, because I hear what you're saying.
But
This is the
wait,
way I've
wait,
always
one
looked
more
at it.
thing.
Here's the so here's the thing I've always looked at it. He's Kal-El, right? What the fuck does he know about being from Krypton? The thing about it is that the fact of the matter is he was raised as Clark.
Right.
Clark is the one with those morals and values. Clark is that boy from Kansas. He even says that line at the end. It's like, I'm from Kansas. I'm as American as they come.
Well, that's the biggest
thing
problem
about
in the movie, actually.
So, but here's the thing for me. The thing about it is that like Clark knows the right things to do, and the problem is though he kept making the wrong decisions. And so for me, the thing about it is that granted, I agree with you. He becomes Superman, but in many different origin stories that we've seen throughout the years, he still makes the right calls. Like a great example was
let me get Henry
2
Cavill
Superman
on.
made by G. Michael Straczynski. He did that exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
okay,
Earthworm.
okay.
Sorry, Earthworm.
I love that trilogy.
That's why we
Okay.
boys.
No,
That's why we
so
boys.
like Man-
International best friends right here.
Man
If
of
anything
Steel-
happens to Jezzer, he's doing Henshin Hangout with me.
that is still a good point. But I'll say one thing that I think.
But wait, let her go, Daniel. Let her go.
No,
Why are you talking over people?
Okay.
We have guests, Daniel. My God. Show some decency and some decorum. My apologies.
Okay.
Yours.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You boys,
benevolent
stay in your
host.
lane.
No, I was just gonna say, Man of Steel feels like how long it would take Kal-El to become Clark if his dad was super fucked up. Because his dad was the one that didn't want him saving people in the movie. So I guess if you were looking at it from that kind of like bizarro AU.
If you're a father, you get it.
Shut up. We got a tag in from Rob now. You're
There is a
Daniel.
father, he is a
Daniel just
father.
got privilege.
We got privileged Daniel.
All right.
Oh, I was
Privileged Daniel.
just gonna stop talking because that was the correct answer on that side.
Oh. Daniel finally conceded.
So now it's
My man. Thank you,
We
Daniel.
applaud you,
Thank you,
Daniel.
privileged Daniel.
To answer Joe's
I just
original
wanted to make
question.
sure that we were all in agreement because that would made more sense because that totally didn't make any sense why he didn't save his dad.
I do
I
agree
look
with that.
I look at it as a flawed character. A little
Tag
bit-
out, tag Josh in.
Oh,
That's
God.
all I was.
I mean that works. I guess.
All right,
Josh Goldman's here.
yo, hey,
Welcome to the
so, thank you, everyone.
I
Rob,
love that
shut
it
the
became
fuck
a
up.
debate about Man of
So
Steel.
here's the thing: the problem is that it isn't that he didn't save his dad because he was respecting his father's decision to let him sacrifice
I need some
himself
squirt. This is I'm dying.
rather than show off his powers. The problem is that Pa Kent wouldn't let him just save the fucking dog. He could have just let.
Pa Kent was fucked up. Something's wrong with him.
For real.
Huh?
I mean, I
Getting my
like.
side now?
No, I'm saying Pa Kent is fucked up. Like,
I
that's what
like the
I'm saying.
movie.
Like, it's a weird AU
Honestly,
where Pa
I
Kent
think
is
Man of
insane.
Steel is probably the best Superman movie outside of like the Christopher Reeves ones.
I think it's the best Superman movie, including the Christopher Reeve.
Ooh.
I would almost agree with that. Except for Superman 4, best one ever. But no, I mean like realistically, why did he not let him save the dog? Because that would have prevented that entire thing. You know, like okay, so the car falls on top of him. He could have just pulled his foot out. Who would have seen it?
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
logical.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why
Well, I
don't-
mean, I think the part
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense in that scene is that his dad doesn't let him save anybody, but at the end of the movie, he tells the government that he's from Kansas.
Yes.
I think that's
Yeah.
the biggest part of that movie that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because that's a very small.
Oh no! I totally agree with you. Go ahead, because that was a total big plot.
Well, even in Justice League, when Superman's flying without his shirt off, he's flying in the air, and Lois Lane runs to him, she goes, Clark, and there's cops all around.
Yeah.
It's like they wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and I were talking about this earlier. Lois Lane tracked him down by showing people pictures and saying, "Hey, you used to work with this guy. Do you know where he's at?" And just tracking him back and tracking him back and tracked him back to Kansas. The government couldn't find him with a fucking satellite.
Exactly. And not only that though, but the moment he said he's from.
He told them where he was from.
So
The moment he said he's from Kansas, it's like, all right, everybody, let's go to a small town in Kansas. Hey, you ever seen a weird kid do some superhero shit? Anybody ever lift a bus, lift something really fucking heavy? Oh, the Kent boy? Damn, that took off 20 minutes. All right, let's get lunch and let's go bust him.
So if this is the best Superman movie, how bad do you guys think the other Superman movies are?
Superman Returns is the worst Superman movie to have.
No, not the
I
worst.
feel Superman Returns is not that bad.
Listen.
Like,
It's my turn.
all I need to
It's
do-
my turn. It's my turn.
It's your time to
Everyone,
shine.
stay in your lane. It's
All right,
my
time
turn.
out. Let's do this properly, though.
Okay.
Let's do this properly, then we'll close out. Because there's how many Superman movies are there?
There are
6?
There's 6.
Of the modern era, not counting the serials?
The 4 movies.
Not of the George Reeves shit, but there's 6, right?
Yes.
The 4 Chris Reeve movies, Brandon Routh, and Man of Steel.
Okay, so those are the
But
ones
technically,
Because
Batman v
here's the
Superman.
we're not
So-
counting. Are we counting?
We'll
Superman?
count Batman v Superman, yes.
And then, all right,
We're not counting Justice League, though.
No.
So
I don't count
so we're not counting Justice League, and we're not talking the live action one for the animated series he did. Sorry, the animated movie they did for him.
We're not talking about the live action one that was an animated
You
series.
know what I mean? I mixed my words up. We're not talking about blah blah blah. It's late. But
We're not talking about that one, no.
Okay, because that was a damn good
So
one.
7. We got 7 movies. All right, so we're gonna.
I don't count BBS.
Hold on, we are gonna count.
We're gonna
it.
count.
Why?
Put it last. Put it last.
It's not a
Because it's the one where he died.
Yeah. There you go.
No, it's the one we came back. Oh no, it was the
No,
one we died. Yeah,
Justice
that's-
League.
All right, so
Yeah,
let's
they all
go
blend
down the
together.
road. And I want to start with Josh. Worst. We're gonna go from worst to best.
Worst?
Yeah.
Oh, so wait, you gotta go through
Superman
each single
4.
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
From 7 on.
Okay.
The Quest for Peace.
It's the worst.
Absolutely the worst.
Okay. Actually, I'm gonna go with Johnny.
Actually, go down there. I have to think about this.
All right.
Yeah.
Andy?
Superman Returns.
Wow.
Because here's the thing. I'd rather watch a bad Superman movie with Christopher Reeve with his charming personality than watching Brandon Routh stalking Lois Lane.
Leave Brandon alone.
For the record, I love Brandon Routh. He's a great Ray Palmer. Fucking sorry to Superman. Sorry.
Actually,
Not sorry.
I don't think that was his fault, but
All right,
No,
so
it wasn't his
It wasn't his
I'm
fault.
gonna
It
go
was
with
Bryan Singer's fault.
my worst Superman movie. I hate to say this. I really hate to say this because Richard Pryor's in it, but I got a Superman 3. Actually, take it back. Superman 4. Superman 4. The Richard Pryor one's decent because there's a Superman versus Clark Kent fight that I dug.
That's the best part of that movie.
So
But hey,
Superman 4 is the
Superman
worst.
4 has a
It has the
supervillain
goddamn nuclear man in it.
with
He's
long-
terrible.
with
and
long
it has
nails.
who is it?
And overdubbed.
John Cusack? Who's the fucking actor that's in that?
John Cusack.
It's
And
not
it's
John
some-
Cusack. Who is
some
it?
no one
It's
that-
it's John Cryer. Is that his John
Oh
Cryer?
my
John
god.
Cryer.
Oh my
John
God.
Cryer.
That is, he is the
Nephew.
fucking worst.
who's it?
But-
Like Leaky Luthor or some shit like that?
But
He's like,
Blue
oh
Blue
dear.
Blue.
yeah,
It
but
was such
Nuclear
a-
Man, they dubbed over the guy's original voice with Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman, which was kind of cool though. I kind of dug that. I did like that.
Given that I haven't watched the Superman 3 and 4 since I was
Wait.
a child.
Okay.
Since I can't,
Delete
so I wouldn't be able to.
yourself.
No, since I was a child, I would say Batman vs Superman is the worst for me.
Superman 4?
Me too.
Batman vs Superman is the most offensive to me.
What?
It offends me
Why does it offend you?
because it doesn't logically make sense as a film.
I mean, I agree with that, but I still think Superman 4 is worse.
It may be worse. I cannot say because I can't remember anything about it.
Seeing only 2 Superman films, so
Wait. Why is it the worst? I don't
Well, okay,
understand.
so like
Watch
for
Superman
example,
4, Taddy, you
when
understand why.
Yeah, all right, I will rewatch Superman 4 and I'll tell you why that it's worse. But for example, when he's in the courtroom, right, and there's a bomb that explodes, and you don't know that there's lead in the seats.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
they cut that out of the movie.
Yeah.
So you're just like, why is Superman so fucking stupid that he can't tell that there's a bomb there? It totally breaks down his character, you know?
It
Who said
makes him
Superman
look
was
just like-
smart though?
Everyone knows
He
Superman
doesn't
is
have to be
smart.
smart, but he has to be able to
Oh,
tell
in the
when there's lead.
comics?
And not only that though, but he's fast. The thing about this was like
Yeah.
he was like when he
Yeah.
sees the bomb, he should be at least like grab it and help reduce the damage
Right,
as much
exactly,
as possible.
but instead he
But
doesn't do
instead he
anything.
just stands there. Everything's on fire. He just stands like, wah wah.
Yeah.
Are
And
you
then
saying?
just things like
Are you guys
What are
saying?
you
Are you guys
saying?
saying that like? Because Superman's a character that gives trust in people because he believes in the people the most.
yes.
Yeah.
At this point, where he is, do you think that he's being overcautious, or do you think that he's just being Superman?
What do you mean like court
Wait, what do you mean by overcautious?
Here's my thing with Superman. He gives trust in the people,
Okay.
and when he
So he
went,
trusted the people to save themselves from the bomb while he was in the
no,
courtroom?
because he didn't expect there to be a bomb.
Yeah,
in
but
it.
why
But-
didn't
but
he
Joe-
know?
Because we have TSA in this goddamn day and age, and there's reasons why people can't go to courtrooms with even shoes on, barely. So
Say the court.
anyway,
Wait.
She says down the corner. They have a pretty extensive. The fucking little security check.
All right, so
Does
here's the
Superman
thing.
know at this
Let's
point
just.
that he
Oh wait,
can't
here's the
take
thing. Let's just do this. In Justice League, we established that Superman's as fast as the Flash. So
we established
he's around that.
They're wrong if they establish that.
All right, but it's like we kind of see it. So it's like, because it's the eye thing, and I'm fighting the Flash. So he's pretty fucking fast. So I hear what you're saying, but my whole thing is about reactionary. So he's standing right there. He sees the bomb go off.
Right.
If
He
he
can't
just
do
starts to
something to
move,
stop
that's what I
it?
said, and grab it and flies it up and whatnot, tries to do something, he can contain as much as possible. He did nothing.
Well, yeah, I have a question for you.
And if
This
people die,
this
he gives
seems
the
like
womp
this seems
womp.
like a very nitpicky thing, Johnny. But your favorite movie is Black Panther. Rhinos and fucking armor.
That is you. You hate those damn rhinos.
Because it don't make any goddamn sense.
Okay.
This is not Dino Riders.
Why are you hating on rhinos? You even like Dino Riders.
Rhinos are almost extinct. Why would the Black
They
Panther
weren't
be
white
using them?
rhinos.
He's putting them
They
in
were
clear
regular
danger.
rhinos.
Okay, but that's like totally different because you're already bringing the fantastical element of vibranium, of the Black Panther.
I'm gonna pee myself.
You gotta admit, I'm right on that one.
I don't give a fuck.
Other
Actually.
offensive things was.
Hold on, wait. Go ahead. What?
Okay, the other offensive things, not just that one scene. Portrayal of Lex Luthor, I just don't understand.
I agree with that.
And also, Mercy Graves was like the first woman of color
But then
that they brought in.
But then
and
the
then
best
she
line in
didn't-
that movie saves it, where he's like those shoes. It's a good line. It's a good
But like,
line.
she barely gets any lines, and then she gets killed off, and it's just like emblematic.
But she
I
can
think,
be
of how
she can be
DC
rebuilt.
works. So she can what?
She can be
All
rebuilt.
right, time out. All right, so what's your worst?
No, I'm kidding. No, but there's versions of Mercy where she actually isn't she a robot in the comics sometimes? Like she can actually like.
That's Metallic.
Metallic.
No, I mean
No,
there's, like,
no, he's
there's,
right.
Yeah.
No, but there's like metallic parts of her, right?
Yeah, there's moments where.
Yeah, like in the Superman Batman Public Enemies.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, like she had like the arm or something like that.
Go ahead,
Like
Johnny.
Arsenal or something.
Yeah, Young Justice. I remember that.
So for
Yeah,
me,
I know my DC.
all right.
They clearly.
So
I feel like
okay,
there's
a close
teams here.
runner-up is what was the name of
Call me
the?
team.
I'm sorry to say this because I know it's your favorite one, but Superman Returns. Because for me,
It's not my favorite. Who the
I
fuck
thought it
you
was. I thought you said that was your
I
favorite.
hate that movie.
Oh, okay. Because
That's his favorite.
because
No, I fucking hate that movie.
Because the reason why it makes me upset is because of fucking Lois Lane's portrayal of that movie. She's a Pulitzer-winning reporter who's a fucking smart woman and everything like that. Investigative reporter, yet she doesn't question, who's the father of my child? How did I get pregnant?
He
Should
kissed
I go
her.
to the police?
Obviously. Did you not see Superman 2?
No, Joe. He kisses her, but like 3 months later, she's like, I'm
woman can
pregnant?
act.
Who did I have
Isn't it
sex
supposed to
with?
be the sequel to
I mean,
Who's
Superman
gonna pay
2?
this child support?
Bless Kate Bosworth's heart.
Wait a
but
minute,
she's
isn't
just
that
not
movie
good
supposed to be the
actress.
sequel to Superman 2?
Yeah.
Obviously, he kissed her,
Yeah.
and then she forgot.
Exactly,
So she
but
forgot how
once
he
she gets
felt about
pregnant,
it?
she
Yeah.
doesn't do anything to figure out who the father is.
It doesn't age well, but